Hi everyone and welcome back to Dev Portal, your go-to channel for mastering database concept. In our last tutorial where we have explored the stored procedure in PostgreSQL, today in part 2 of our series on stored procedure and functions, we are going to explore about the functions in PostgreSQL. We will cover the difference between functions and procedure, and then we will see how we can create and call the functions in PostgreSQL. And also we will write some functions and we will see how they will return the value to us. So let's get started. Before jumping into the function, let's quickly revisit the difference between function and procedure. If we talk about functions, then they are created to perform some computation and return a value to us. It means they will always return a value to us. It may be a single value, table or a JSON. But we cannot include transaction management statements like commit and rollback to our functions. If we talk about procedure, then the purpose of procedure is to automate the task and handle the transaction. But they will not return any value to us, but we can include transaction management statement inside the procedure. In short, procedures are ideal for automating tasks and functions are perfect for usable computation and returning the result. So now let's start with the basic syntax. I have written both the syntax for the procedure and function. Syntax are very similar, just there is some difference in the name and return type. As you can see, for procedure you need to mention create procedure name, and if I come down you can see for function it is create function name. Then we need to define the param as well, whatever input parameter that we are going to provide with their data type. And if we talk about function, we need to mention the return type as well, that what data type you are going to return from the function. And then we need to mention our business logic for procedure and function between the begin and end keywords, as you can see at line number 6 and line number 16. And if it is a function, then in that case you need to return a value as well. So this is the basic syntax of procedure and function. Now let's see how we can create a function. So what we are going to do, first we will create a function that will calculate the employee's annual salary based on their monthly salary. The script I have already prepared, let me show you. So here you can see I have created a function with name calculate annual salary, which will take one input parameter as a numeric value, which is the monthly salary of the employee, and it will return the annual salary. What I did, I just need to multiply the value with 12. Create function will define the function in the database and return numeric, which means that it will return a numeric value to me. And then return, we have mentioned monthly salary multiplied by 12, that is the annual salary of the employee. So first let's create this function and then we will see how we can call this function. Let me show you first. In my database there is nothing. If I refresh the function here, so you can see currently there is no function, and now we will see how this function will get created. So just I need to run the command and you can see function got created. So let me refresh and you can see here as well, now function is reflecting. So this is how we can create the function. Just you need to mention the create function name, input parameter, and then you need to mention your logic. Now let's see how we can call this function. So to calling the function, what we need to do, we need to mention the select statement. So I will write select and then I need to mention the function name, that is calculate annual salary, and then I need to provide the input parameter as well. Suppose monthly salary is 5,000, and if I run this function, you can see it has written 60,000 to me. It has multiplied 5,000 by 12 and then it has written the value to me. This is how you can call the function. As this function return a single value, that is a numeric value, so I have written select function name and then input parameter. There is other way as well to call the function. You can write select and then you need to mention the star from function name and then input parameter. If I run this command, you can see still it has written same value, that is 60,000. So this is how you can call the function. This function will take monthly salary as the input parameter and calculate the annual salary by multiply by 12, and select star from calculate annual salary with input parameter as 5,000 will run the function in our DB and it will return the value to us. So this is the example of a function which will take one input parameter. Now let's create a function that will calculate an employee's bonus based on their salary and bonus percentage. Let me go to the next step. So here, as you can see, I have written a function. It will take two arguments. One is salary, that is the monthly salary, and second is bonus percentage, how much bonus I need to provide. As the logic says, I have just calculated the bonus, so it will return me the amount that I need to provide as a bonus to the employee. So first let's create this function and then we will call this function. So let me create this function first. So function got created. If I refresh, now it should reflect 2. So you can see it here, now two functions are reflecting. Now let me call this function. So I need to mention select star from, and then let me copy the function name, and I will provide, suppose monthly salary is 5,000 and bonus is 10%. If I run this command, so as you can see, this function take two parameters, that is salary and bonus percentage, and it has returned the calculated bonus to us, that is 500. Now let's see another example where we will create a function and we will return a table, this time not a single value. What we will do, we will write a function that will retrieve employees with their salary above a threshold value. Suppose you have some threshold value, so I need to find out how many employees are there above that range of salary, that result I want. So for that we will create a function and then we will call the function. So as you can see in the screen, this is the function which will take one argument, that is the threshold value, in the form of numeric, and it will return a table in the form of employee ID, first name, last name and salary. The script you can see from line number 7 to 9, it will return me the list of employees with their employee ID, first name, last name and salary, whose salary is above threshold. So first let's create this function and then we will call this function. So let me create this function. Function got created successfully. Let me refresh it here. So you can see now three functions are reflecting, and now it's time to call this function. So let me write select all from, and I need to mention the function name, that is get higher salaries employees, and let me provide input as 5,000. One issue is there within this function. Let me tell you, if you see the data type, for first name it is text and for last name it is text, but if I show you the employees table here, that is under public schema, I am under public schema. If I open the SQL, I will show you one difference is there in data type. So for employees, as you can see, the data type for first name and last name is character varying with upper limit is 50, but in our function we have mentioned text. So when I try to run this function, if I go to the function again, when I try to run this function, it will give me the error that it is not able to convert varchar to the text. Let me show you. So if I run this function, so as you can see, character varying does not match with the expected type, that is text. So it is not able to provide me the result. So that is one issue is there in this function. So what we need to do, what we can do here, one is that either you change the data type here, or you can typecast first name and last name data type from varchar to text. Let me show you how we can do this. Just we need to mention colon colon, and I need to mention text here, and let me mention it here as well, colon colon text. So now what it will do, it will convert varchar to text. So first, as we have already created this function, let me recreate, and as I have already told in the previous tutorial of procedure how we can recreate the function or procedure, as you need to just mention create or replace. If already it exists in the DB, it will recreate. If it is not present in the DB, it will get created. So if I run this SQL again, so my function will get recreated. So it got recreated. If I go this, let me refresh first and let me go to the SQL. So here you can see now text is reflecting. So again go back to the tab, and now we will see it is giving us error or not. Ideally it will not give, and it will give us the record of employees. So here you can see we got total 15 records with employee ID, first name, last name and salary. And you can see here first name and last name is coming as a form of text data type. If you don't know the difference between varchar and text, then already I have created a video on that as well under my data types in PostgreSQL. That video you can check it out. Link I will give you in the I section. So this is how we can create the function with that will return the table to us. Now let's rerun this function. This time it is returning 15 records. What I will do, let me change the amount to 5,000 to 50,000, and now we will see how much record it will give. So now you can see it has written us 8 records. Now let me again increase the amount from 50,000 to 75, suppose, and now if I run this command, you can see now it is returning 4 records. So it means our function is running perfectly. It is returning the records to us. One benefit of function is that we can write our logic, and this function we can reuse any number of times. So this is how we can create and call the function. Now let's see how we can modify and drop the function. First, let me show you the example of drop command. So for dropping the function, the syntax is very similar to the procedure. Just you need to mention the drop function, function name, and if any input parameter it is taking, that data type you need to define. In case of procedure, we need to mention drop procedure name. That is the only difference. So suppose if I want to drop this function, in that case what I can do, I just need to mention drop, and then I need to mention the function, and then I need to mention the function name, and as it is taking one argument, that is numeric argument, so I need to mention numeric. And if I run this command, you can see function got dropped. If I refresh it here, now you can see only two functions are reflecting. So this is the command how we can drop the function from our database. Now let's see how we can modify the function. Again, to modify the function, there are two ways. One is that first you drop the function and again you create in the database. Second, you just mention create or replace. If already function exists, it will get replaced. If it is not exist, it will get created. So let me show you both of the examples. So first what I will do here, I have mentioned create function. So let me show you. First I will drop this function, drop function. And one more thing is that suppose if you are dropping the function which is not present in the DB, in that case you will get the error. What we can do to overcome from that error, we can mention if exist. So it will check that function exists in the DB or not. If it exists, then it will get dropped. So I need to copy the function name. Let me paste it here, and it will take two arguments. Both are numeric, comma numeric. So let me run this command first, drop function. If I run it once, it will get executed. If I run it once more time, now you can see it is saying does not exist, so it is skipping the drop function command. So we will not get the error in that case. So now if I refresh it here again, now this time only one function should reflect, as you can see in this screen. Now to create the function, we just need to again run this command of create. So function got created. So this is how you can modify your function. You can mention your updated logic in this place. So this is the one way of modifying the function. First we have dropped the function, and then again we have executed our create command. Second way is that just you need to mention create or replace. And let me add here, suppose let me add comment, updating function. If I run this command, so you can see function created. Let me refresh, and if I go to this calculate annual salary SQL, so you can see here updating function is coming. So our function got updated. So this is how we can create, call, drop and modify the function in PostgreSQL. Now let's talk about their use cases. So one of the use case of function is that data validation. We can create a function to validate employee's salary before insertion. That is one use case. And then we can do our custom calculation as well with the help of function. As I have shown you the example, these are all the calculation of the annual salary or bonus that we can do with the help of function. We can call the same function any number of times, just we need to create it once. And then we can do data transformation as well, that we can transfer our raw data into the meaningful result, such as aggregation or formatting the reports, and we can reuse our business logic any number of times with the help of function. One more thing is that I told you that for procedure we can create the transaction. That same thing we can do in the function as well, but as function will return some value to us, in that case you need to think what value you need to return. Suppose if you want to insert the value with the help of function, then in the end you can return some value as a flag, suppose true or false. If it is executed successfully, it will return as true. So with function as well you can do your insert, update, delete as well. That is possible with procedure as well and function as well. Just you need to think that how you can use it. The only difference is that procedure will not return the value to you, but function will. So in that case of function, you need to mention the return type with value as well. So let's recap what we have covered today. Function in PostgreSQL are useful for reusable computation and always return a value to us. We created function to calculate salaries, bonus and retrieve employees data, as we have seen in the examples. Functions can return a single value or even a table, making them very powerful for database operations. In our next tutorial, we will dive deeper into the PostgreSQL features where we will explore cursor and their use in handling the result set. So please stay tuned. Notes link I will give you in the description box as well as in the comment section. So please check it out. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates. Comment below your questions or ideas for future topics. And thanks for watching today's video on Dev Portal. I will see you in the next video.